Well, hello, my staratlas family. It's been another whole week of missing content from staratlas, so I'm here. We're going to be chatting about staratlas, but I'm going to be honest, not much has actually happened in the last week. The team are all coming back from the Impact Summit, so, they're still a bit dispersed. They're probably still doing some team huddle stuff, so not much has actually come out. But there is still stuff to talk about, right, my friends? So we have Beth came out with the brew summary as well. Have a look at the, and lastly, what I actually want to finish with this time is the actual, the Impact Summit gameplay that of the of the Uster actually going around doing quests. That's what I want to see. So we're going to start off first with some announcements, but first off, I think you noticed something a bit different here. Look at this. I got a brand new t-shirt, my friends. I got a brand new Aphia t-shirt. Guess who sent this to me? This is Fun Cracker, all the way from Singapore, from the Impact Summit. I'm so thankful for this. And he also got me a second one. Look, there's two t-shirts here. Look at this. Look at this. Look how good this looks. That's an Aphia t-shirt. That's amazing. Look at it. And it's got a little Aphia thing, Impact on the side. I love it. I love it. Thank you so much, Funcracker. And then he also sent me some little goodies as well, like this little thing here. He got me some stickers that I can put on my laptop and everything like that. And especially, look at this. You know what this is. Anyway, let's get started. Sorry guys. So the first announcement I think I want to let you know is that the actual second round of voting is nearly about to finish. We have around 4 days left. If you just look at this, 4 days and 14 hours left. Let's look at the election votes. Now, people probably didn't know, but you can actually change your submissions. So please be very, very careful. We do have someone, I also voted for Kriegs. I voted for him as like second or third. He's actually dropped out of the race, which is quite unfortunate, I would say. So what happens then is that my Kriegs' vote went to the second person in line. And I don't quite remember who that was. It might have been Bodhi, might have been King Brian. But let's see who's winning first. Funcracker is number 1, King Brian 2, Bodhi from Tree is 3, Drum Carlos 4, and Rome is 5. So pretty good. Oh, excuse me so much, guys. Now, pretty good turnout there. Pretty good elections. It's good to see D-Mark is still making it up there. JP, Jota, and Alexis are still up. So go and vote, guys. Go and vote. And remember, nothing's certain because you can still recast your vote. Okay. Now, next little announcement I want to make is, guys, I'm so proud of myself. I am so close to actually crafting my first medium ship, which is a Thimble Mamba X. This was actually taking me a little bit of time. I only have 296 crew. I started with 250, give or take, and it would have taken me about 6 days to craft this. But because I do it at the CSS and I don't supply any food, sometimes it's double the time because it's 50% crafting rate. So it's taken me like nearly 2 weeks to actually go ahead and craft this. And sometimes if there's an error of like there's one less of one resource, then I don't see it till 12 hours later. So it's been really inefficient on my part. But I'm so close to crafting this. I only have steel and titanium left. I already have all the titanium. I already have all the steel. I'm so close to doing this. Now, the Thimble Mamba X, I think you guys know, is one of the 2 craftable ships. You have the Maxog and Mamba X. Mamba X is actually pretty good. You have it here. I like to use a staratlas Italia dashboard to help look at ships. So here it is. We have a cargo capacity of 17k, a fuel capacity of 14, ammo is 16. It kind of mines at 9.2, which is actually not bad. I would say. Now, why I got it was like fuel became unprofitable for a long time for people to mine and for people to sell, and that used to be my biggest kind of play, and that was my simplest play. I don't want to do all of this logistics and all the calculations. I just couldn't get my head around it, so I was like, keep it simple, something that's going to be forever. And so I did that, and for a while people were actually downselling a lot of the fuel that they had, and then the price fell, and so it became unprofitable. So I was like, okay, what else am I going to do? So then I thought, I might as well go ahead and craft the ship. So Thimble Mamba X, I wonder if you guys remember, this is the video that staratlas released a long time ago. I think is also the background of Michael Wagner. So that's the Thimble Mamba itself, and then this is the Mamba X. So cool. So cool, man. They should do more of these shots in staratlas. So damn cool. Anyway, that's the Thimble Mamba X that's coming pretty soon. Now, from my point of view, let's see some updates. So this is the brew. Big thanks to Beth. And Beth, I hope you don't mind. I'm going to be showing your videos a bit more, basically because you do the best brew updates. It's like 2.5 minutes. I don't have to watch the entire hour, 2 hours, just to know what's happening. So let's see, Beth.
Number 130, hackathon solutions. Starting off with noteworthy news, the Star Atlas Economic Forum is tomorrow. They published a new quarterly.
And I have that. We're going to be going over that.
Trailers for the Pierce F4 and for Wagner's keynote, and they'll be uploading other panels later on. Council elections end on October 11th, so make sure that you vote. They're going to have a debate next Wednesday during the brew. Then Dom and Jose went over the hackathon submissions, where they gave out over $50,000 in prizes. There were 34 submissions of people building on Star Atlas. Adam by Meta Orion won the overall.
I love Adam. I wanna interview them.
With the ability to predetermine what your fleet is going to do with various customization options. Evi by Rising Sun won the Golden Era Award for creating a tool for.
I've already used this one. I showed you guys in the last video. Go check it out.
Warfront Invasion by Visual JC.
This looks pretty good. It's very basic, but
skills-based wagering using ship assets.
It's great. It's great.
Won the Resource Award for creating an automation tool for mining, transport, crafting, and scanning, but it's not released yet. Aphia's Flipside Dashboard by Victor won the Data Award.
Shout out Victor, man. He's still enjoying his time away. Give him some time.
Market cap, anything you need for trading, all the stats that you would ever need for crew. Adapt for Staking by Soulwalker won the DeFi Award, where guilds can stake their Atlas or Polis in the Star Atlas locker, and you can use a multi-sig wallet. Atlas Link by Hirsch16 and Sid1999 won the Galactic Marketplace Award, having the Galactic Marketplace and data in a ChatGPT format, and it creates links for your orders so that you can publish it on Twitter. Other submissions include the Atlas Faction Award by PG MetaVerse OG.
PG, man, I should have checked this out a long time ago. I know it's on Sandbox, never got to it.
And revenue is split based off of your contribution. Crew Shaker by Night Strife. Enter your wallet address to see all your ships and crew that you have. Crew Forge by NSIM, where all crew members can be monitored whether in your wallet or in Sage. It has an anomaly hunter, and you can add multiple wallets. Blink Station 10 by MGD1987, where you can create a blink for marketplace orders to put them on Twitter or X. It can answer lore questions, and it has a star rating tool to rate ships. Zoe Racing by Dansky uses the Foundation Kit from Star Atlas so that you can participate in multiplayer games with added value.
This one looks interesting.
Space Journey by Justin Baby Bull, another game that's in progress. Atlas Live by Uno, a Discord bot providing information, resource calculators, token prices with real-time insights. Polaris Fuel by Drum Carlos, an app to facilitate wholesale trading of Star Atlas resources in Atlas, and it enables bulk trading. And finally, the Crew Manager by Funcracker. It shows you your whole crew.
This Crew Manager one looks really good.
And you can see how you can put different levels onto different aptitudes and see how that goes. That's it for the brew.
That's what I want. I want that crew level manager. So Funcracker, I'm going to reach out to you. I want to see what that development is like, because it looks pretty good. Now, let's move on, my friends. Let's move on. Let's keep going. Let's keep it going. Let's keep the pace. The Economic Forum has just been released. This is only about a day or two old. So I wanted to read the executive summary and then maybe the conclusion as well. It's a multi-page document. There's a lot of info, but sometimes the executive summary gives you everything you need to know. So let's go ahead and read this here. So, Star Atlas released defined quarter, leading to surges in economic activity and increased economic complexity. The activation of DAO voting alongside the release of Star Atlas Crew stabilized the initial high volatility of ecosystem tokens. Minimal changes to existing economic variables allowed players to specialize further within the current Sage model. LP system in Sage brought about the most stable quarterly Atlas emissions the ecosystem has seen. Atlas earning across the faction, encouraging more consistent spending behavior. So it's equitable, so the same. So GDP actually did have a decline due to decreased purchasing power and a drop in USDC value of the Atlas token. GDP per capita also decreased. Influx of the crew recipients who contributed minimally to economic output. All three factions saw declines in GDP. Uster experienced the largest drop. Oni and Mud were more resilient. Stable token emissions and weakening macro pressures suggest a more optimistic GDP outlook. Raw resource material revealed distinct production behaviors in Sage economy. Oni were primary producers while Mud and Uster maintained similarly low but balanced production. Resource production shows Uster specializing in raw materials, Mud and Oni being more diversified. Higher quality, higher liquidity in raw resources provided specialization opportunity, revealing the preferences of producers over the quarter. Very, very nice. Now, let's see some key highlights. Daily Atlas emissions, most stable in history. That's pretty good news, isn't it? With current quarterly emission rates of 3%. That's really good for a currency to have an emission rate of only 3%. That's actually a lot lower than the US dollar, a lot lower than most other currencies out there. Considering what Bitcoin is 1.75 or something like that at the moment. Faction participants recirculating over 66% of Atlas emissions back into the ecosystem, right? Citizen groups saw a resurgence in membership because 10% due to the renewed interest in staratlas DAO. So basically more people came into the staratlas DAO and actually became active and started voting, probably because of my videos, hopefully. Staratlas GDP fell significantly due to a combination of sharp decrease in Atlas USD alongside decrease in primary purchases as a result of the Atlas rebase. There was a very contentious Atlas rebase that just happened. People were not that happy with it, but at the end of the day, meh. The staratlas DAO passed PIP 1 and PIP 2. Uster became the first faction to disapprove of a proposal in staratlas history. So that's making history there. Uster, very nice. I thought it'd be Oni, but it's Uster. The Mud faction was able to fill 99% of star-based ships with the minted crew. That's a very interesting stat. While Mud and Oni sought to make up for the difference through secondary trading. Wow, so people in Mud and Oni had to go and buy crew off Tensor. Now, as players adjust to the changing economic environment, staratlas ecosystem showcases its ability to adapt and thrive. Recent stabilization in Atlas emissions, alongside maturation of LP system, points to a deliberate effort to support balanced growth and encourage participation across faction participants. Very, very good. So there's a bunch of other stuff. I'll leave it there for now. I want to make the video a little bit short. We're already at 11 minutes. Now, I wanted to see the staratlas crew and see how they're going on Tensor. So you see we had a massive dip down to $3.50, and I'll put myself lower here. We had a dip down to $3.36 for God's sake, but that seems to have been a bottom, and the prices have now started to stabilize back. I think, don't quote me on this, but I do think the Punab whale purchaser has actually come back into the market, and there's been lots of like this guy, this wallet. This wallet has been buying and buying non-stop. I think he just wants to stock up on lots of crew. So yeah, we're at $4.60 now, which is pretty good. And let's have a look at some of the traits. We do have some really cheap traits here. There's one that's priced really low at 3.1. Anyway, that's good to know. Now, as I was saying before, let me bring myself back here. As I was saying before, sometimes it's quite difficult to find a good strategy in staratlas, and you make sure you capitalize on your return on investment here. So I used to do crafting of hydrogen at the CSS space. It's the easiest thing to do, right? Because there's minimal transaction fees, and you get one resource, there's only one crafting loop. It's really easy to manage. But that became unprofitable for a while. So I was like, oh, what do I do? Go and craft the number X. But now that fuel has come back slightly more, it's worth a look at now. So coming to the FVF Flipside dashboard, going to the gameplay analytics, going to small player tutorial, go down all the way to crafting, small player crafting, and then I wanted to see the ROI, and I will put myself a little bit lower again. Let's have a look at the ROI, return on investment. It's 1,000% if you start buying ingredients for strange emitters, crafting them, and then selling them. But remember, the exit liquidity is really low. That's only $11 in a day, so that's not very high. What are you actually going to do with that? Not much. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to filter by exit liquidity. What has the highest exit liquidity? You see Toolkits number 1 has the highest exit liquidity at $360 a day, but the return on investment is actually low. It's a minus 903. So that's not what you want. You want both of these to be positive, these two rows. So I'm going to find something that is high exit liquidity, like this, exit liquidity $116, and then the return on investment is 195%, which is not bad at all. And then I want to also go and see, I always keep an eye on fuel. So fuel exit liquidity is really high at 337, but the ROI is 215. Keeping in mind, this is updated like whenever someone presses the button. And I'll always go up and press the button here. It does say what failed when you go and update it. So please, guys, go and update it all the time and see what's more profitable. Keep in mind, this is you buying fuel off the ask price, not off the buy price, right? This is off the top section, not the bottom section. So like you want to buy it right now instead of waiting for someone to fill it. That's why. Now, with that being said, Frameworks 2 was one of the things I identified, which means I will need 2 carbon and 1 iron to go and craft this, which means I need to rearrange all my fleets to go make them more efficient, to make them warp to carbon, warp to iron, and come back, or maybe leave them mining there and just have some what do you call it? Some ships going back and forth. Maybe I need to craft more max hogs. I don't know, but you see what I mean. Now there's getting into so many logistics, and I really dislike that. Now, my friends, the last thing I wanted to focus on with you guys was one of the biggest things I missed at the Star Atlas Summit was the actual gameplay, which is the questing system. The questing system slash the showcase of ships, the Oyster, dialogue, optionality. So this is one of the creators of that system here, and he just walks you through it.
Couple caveats real quick. So this was created kind of as an R&D exercise to kind of flesh out these systems that we've been building. We wanted to do
so we're going to watch it together, give you my feedback every so often.
It's not intended to be ever played by players. However, all the characters, the story, all the dialogue was written by our lore keeper Jose. So it is all canon, and the story is lore, and it leads right up to season 0. However, the environments were all created like by myself. I'm not an environment artist. I'm just a gameplay guy. So it is not indicative of final quality or anything like that. And with that, let's roll it.
Yeah, so I want to reiterate what he just said there, right? So he is not a designer, right? He is a programmer. So he only just stitched these systems together just to see how it'll work. It's not like this is the final product of Star Atlas at all. This is basically like the first draft and like multiple drafts, right? So keep that in mind, and that's what they're saying here. Yeah, they've not been art directed, not indicative of final quality. Now, even just this beginning, I loved it. I love this beginning walking theme.
Wrap up. Over here. Now.
See, the funny thing is, how do you hear those footsteps in space? They're in space, right? They're on the rock. Ha ha ha. Well, how do you hear footsteps?
Why I called you cadet. You've been a disgrace to the council ranks. We have standards.
Now, keep in mind, all of this is kind of like placeholder, like you said. This icon, this person that you're seeing here is just the Surge Gaglio or something, Gaglio Dua. And he is just the skin of the NFT we got from Surge, right? So that's just one character design. And then the main player is another character design. The voices are all kind of placeholder. They're not actual voice actors, right? It's probably all AI, maybe. And now what I wanted to highlight here is on the bottom left. You can't see it very well over here, but there is some dialogue option. You have one that says, "I'm sorry, Captain. I've been up to something," and then "stay silent," which is like you say nothing. And then you go ahead and click one of them.
I mean, Captain, I'll do better.
Words are cheap and graft. I need to see action.
And it's not optimized, so whenever the camera changes, you'll see they go into shape.
Aoki is the heart of the Ooster. If we fail here, our entire civilization is in danger. You know how important the belt is for us, Rathbot. If you don't on the signal, they found it's probably a Jorvik attack. But the Scud is the only lead in this incident, and we need answers. I sent it for analysis on Aoki, but I sent it to Aoki to meet with the status and
Where do I start?
meet Sergeant Bell. Bring it forward and get moving.
So now, here's something very interesting. As you're talking and discussing, normal game stuff happens, right? You have the actual quest being updated at the top left. So quest updated, shaping up. Pilots the F4, go to X6 pilot. So even the text is weird because it's saying pilot the F4 and then this says go to the X6. Obviously, it's not the same ship.
Keep the comms open.
Now your interaction's finished. You go and find the X5, X6, X5, whatever ship it is. Change the text. That is obviously an F4.
Wow. I can't believe I get to fly an F4. This mission might be the best punishment I ever got.
Did you say something, Raft?
Nothing, sir.
You can see, guys, there is huge, massive potential here for this to turn into, some little buggy clips there.
My calculations indicate that it can hold around 16.135 galaxy storage units. It's above average for a fighter class. Nice.
So that's them kind of hinting about the cargo space of the ship. Very good details, because that's already, we have that already.
Whoa, now this is what I'm talking
Look at that, pistol areas.
Gan's shockwave rifle? Look at these cells. The mods must have thought, why not add a tiny dungeon to our ship? And here it is. Honestly, this is genius. This hologram is sick. I can't believe they use this for navigation. Humans really know how to make things feel epic.
Man, there's a lot of like just colloquialism slash funny stuff in it. I like it. I like it. It's got character. That's what it is.
Whoa!
Remember, we've seen that damn table for like the last 3 years or something like that. It keeps popping up every other time. Yep. So he's exploring the ship.
Reps, you on your way?
I'm on my way.
So now this is where it gets a little bit more interesting. So this is kind of the magic that they're trying to say they want to achieve. So basically you take off from one planet, you kind of fast travel or zoom across. I think you'll be able to see, yeah, you go kilometers per second instead of meters per second, right? So this is pretty impressive. Like imagine going around planets and going from A to B to C to D, and you have like an entire ecosystem of mini ships and mini AIs transferring resources from A to B. You have an ecosystem. You have an ecosystem. I'm sure they're working on this. So the other thing that they said they're really working on is like this, the smooth transition from space to planet. So there shouldn't be any loading screen. You can see they're just going to glide into this, and then you'll see it'll just load by itself.
I joined the council to protect our people and make a name for myself. Ships from maintenance.
The lore you seek now, on an elder forsaken.
I'm so
Means nothing.
So here it is.
Get your act together. If you want
And then
to
you
face
see it
the
loads by
darkness of
itself.
Garuda, you need
How
to be
awesome.
ready.
That's really good.
This
That's
is
really,
what
really good.
prepares.
And then this person lands here, and then as they land, you can see there's like another dialogue interaction for the quest.
You want to serve as target practice for the auto term.
I'm here on orders.
Shame it's missed days, you're left special. I've never seen anything like it in all my years serving in the military. Opponents probably making one of the
I like
fastest
this
ships in
this
Korea expense.
canvas
I
conversation.
already have a
It needs to be a little bit more interactive, sure, but I think that has potential where you can have the broad view.
You can't sell it.
But I'm not a
Although we have
cinematographer.
sensitive data that's important for the.
Don't overcapacity
Anyway,
by hiring
after this, there's like a little shootout and a fight out where you end up going back into space, and then as you go into space, you meet these space pirates, and they start coming
And then the
coming
moon
after you.
also has that little spawn volume. That's for like a little station, little platform. So I enter that cube. And the station spawns in.
Very good stuff. Very good stuff. All right, my friends, that is 25 minutes. I'm going to stop there. Thank you very much for watching, as always. As always, if I think there's something that I need to update you on staratlas, I will. I'll make a specific video for it. But I think this week, not much has actually happened there. So I'm going to go ahead, finish this video, and make sure I finish crafting my Thimble Mamba X. And then what do I do with that X? I'll probably be mining hydrogen, unless I can think of other profitable strategies. If you have profitable strategies, come and let me know, because I need to know. Okay, my friends, I'm going to leave you and love you. Bye for now. Ciao.